Hey guys, so I'm back. I am so sorry. I have been like super busy. Please ignore the giant Mount Vesuvius pimple that is healing currently on my forehead. Anyhow, moving on. It's spring break, so honestly, it is like a Monday at like 10 a.m. and I'm here just chilling. And I had this cool idea for a like makeup video challenge thing that was inspired by a thing I saw on Twitter and a trend that's already been going around on YouTube. So makeup artists have been taking every single one of their foundations that they have and mixing them together, and a lot of them have been shocked because it creates like this literally like perfect shade, and like, you know, the texture is really odd, ends up being extremely full coverage, which a lot of people are loving. And I thought that that was really cool and really unique. But then when I was looking at my foundations, if I mix mine together, I don't know exactly how it would go. And the reason is because being almost half Native American, my shade constantly changes throughout the year. So I constantly have my shades for the summer and my shades for like the spring, winter around, because throughout the year I'm either using just one of them or I'm mixing a lighter shade and a darker shade together. So I had this idea to take all of my foundations and put them in like coordinates on my face, starting from like the darkest shade going to the lightest, obviously, so you can see how they blend into my neck very nicely, because my current shade is literally like perfect. I'm going to talk about every single foundation, why I use them during that time of year, what I like about them, and how I think other people would like them depending on if they look for what they're looking for in this kind of a foundation. Also, another thing recently gonna pop up on the screen really quickly was this girl on Twitter was like, light-skinned natives are cute, dark-skinned natives are cute, and to be honest, all natives are cute. And I replied, like, I really needed this because I am in my, what I like to call, light-skinned or white version of myself currently, with it being winter progressing into spring. And it always makes me cringy because sometimes I tell people I'm Native and they kind of look at me and are like, really? But I tell people during the summer that I'm Native American with my dark skin and they don't question it. And it's a huge stereotype issue because people have this idea, influenced by Hollywood, that all Native Americans are super dark skinned, have dark to black hair, have brown eyes, and that's it. But Native Americans are so much more than that. We are of multi-skin colors. We are also from multiple ethnic backgrounds with mixed natives. As I'm mixed with white. My mom's white. My grandfather was full-blooded, and he was your stereotypical Hollywood native, really dark skin, jet black hair, but he had blue eyes. And it's funny because both my parents have blue eyes. I have blue eyes, but everybody says I have my grandfather's blue eyes, which I'm very proud of. And I had a lady one time tell me, you know, you look more native if you didn't have blue eyes. And I was really taken back. Offense to that, and then I realized that people's only perspective of Native Americans really is this Hollywood stereotype, because that's all that's been shoved into their faces. And when you go to Native American museums, that's all you see is these pictures of this constant, you know, look. And if you don't fall under that look, obviously you're not Native. Because as an actor, my friends send me, you know, stuff for Native American roles all the time, needing Native American actresses, actors for extras, main roles, and I audition, but I'm not the look they're looking for because it's like an older take on Native Americans. So they're like, you're not the Native we're looking for. So basically what they're wanting is a bunch of people who fit this stereotype, and it eats at me because I have dealt personally also with the Native community, dealing with this kind of, I guess, issue. I think it's an issue. Obviously, so a lot of the younger generation is a lot more accepting, but sometimes I would go to powwows here and I'd be wearing like my beaded medallion, my eagle feather beaded earrings my grandfather got me, you know, and I'd be wearing minimal regalia, and if I had a braid, I would have one of the eagle feathers from my grandfather in my hair, and sometimes some of the natives there would look at me like, who the heck is this white chick showing up, you know, not assuming that I'm there to appreciate their tribe and the culture and to actually celebrate my culture, because we only had 2 powwows here in Virginia when I was growing up. And to me, that was like the only time I felt like I could wear that regalia, because other times I would try wearing my native jewelry or my native t-shirt. I had one with like the turtle island on it, and the medicine wheel was the shell, and it like talked about Mother Earth and everything like that. And I got bullied about it. I got picked on. I got made fun of. And so I stopped wearing it, and I would only wear it to those events. But then when I got to college, I really went through this transformation of being like, no, I can wear my medicine wheel earrings and my medallion, my beaded, beautiful beaded jewelry I have that normally I would never wear, but it's like, this is gorgeous, and someone took a lot of time to make this, and I should celebrate that. I shouldn't hide my culture anymore, no matter how I look during the year, whether I'm dark-skinned or light-skinned. When I went to my actual tribe's powwow, and I lived in Kansas for a little bit, there's people there who are in full regalia garb, ready to dance, and this one kid, he's white and has freckles and red hair, but he's in his regalia, and he's standing next to another tribal member who fits that stereotypical, you know, native look, but they both are dancing together, and they both are loving and enjoying their culture together, and they're keeping it alive together, and it's beautiful. And that's what matters, is the culture, keeping it alive, respecting it, and recognizing it for what it is. And it took me a long time to get to that point, because I was at this really odd place before where I struggled with, how do I fit in? Where do I belong? And so I'm kind of doing this today to express to people, like, to feel comfortable within your own skin, in your culture. At least with mine, I know sometimes this can be an issue. It's getting better with it not being a problem or an issue, but I just wanted to do my personal take on it. And so we're gonna get started. I'm gonna stop rambling with my little like rant. I need to get out of my ADD-ness. So we're actually gonna start now, and yeah, we're gonna see how this goes. Okay, so I have 6 foundations. I'm also gonna be using like these wedges today. I am gonna use primer. I want to give this a proper shot. I got them all in here in this bag. I've got a little bit of everything, and so like I said, I'm gonna start with my darkest shade and go to my lightest. And so to talk about the foundations first, I have the NYX Stay Matte but Not Flat, and this is in shade, is it still on there? Soft beige. This is really dark. This is normally what I wear during the summer. I usually mix this in with another foundation. I did this mainly to do 6 so it'd be even, but these 2 colors are practically the same. And I usually kind of use this as a kind of sort of primer. It's a tinted moisturizer. It's hydrating. It's from Artistry. It's got SPF 15 in it. It's in tint 6. I don't think they make this anymore, which is really upsetting, because it was really nice, like especially if I knew I was going to the beach, but I wanted some minimal coverage to really make my skin tone even. I could keep this in my bag with my sunscreen, and I could just easily apply it along with the sunscreen. I have like facial sunscreen that I had, and it would keep me like, you know, looking more of an even skin tone, because usually since I exfoliate twice a week, my face is lighter than my skin. I also have been using vitamin C to help get rid of like dark spots and acne scarring, so that's also lightened the look of my face. But these 2 are basically the same shade. You can see already from the 2, this is super dark. I am super not. But moving on. My next one that I would say is my next darkest is the Ulta Demi Matte Foundation. I was a little unsure of this. This is in shade Cool Tan. It's It says it's lightweight, but it's kind of not. It's like a mousse, and it is thick and heavy on the skin, but it does make my skin look good. And this is a one like in the summer that I kind of wear like day to day, like going to school, going to work. Same with this one, but if I am going to wear them to the beach or like out and about, I will like very sheerly put it on, and I'll mix it in with this, because if you don't put SPF either under your makeup or have SPF in your makeup, you need to do it, because protecting your skin from the sun is extremely important. For as much as I love going outside during the summer and being outdoors and going to the beach and going on hikes, I'm constantly have SPF on. I'm putting it on every hour on the... So next I have my two Fenty Beauty foundations. I literally bought these within a month apart, and that's how quickly my shade changes when it's the beginning to go into winter, into fall, because fall I'll stay pretty dark, but then as soon as like you get that extra hour of sleep and you know daylight savings time kicks in and there's less sun outside, I get pale so quick it's not even funny. The shade 200, which I originally started out as, and then I went to shade 190, and then this eventually became also too dark. But these two shades, when they matched me perfectly, were life-changing. I've never had a foundation match me so well and look so good on my skin, look natural on my skin, because it's buildable. So like, what's great about this foundation is that's very beautiful. So you can get like a medium coverage, and you also, if you do 2 layers, you can easily get that full coverage, beautiful, like foundation canvas that everybody wants. So definitely recommend saving up. I actually like got really lucky and got like, you know, save like 20% off and say like a $5 off from Sephora, and that's why I got these, because I was able to save up my money, because I really wanted to get it. I got it like literally within a couple weeks of it coming out, because I was super excited, and I heard so many people with reviews, because even though I'm dark and I have an olive tone to my skin, I have a very medium complexion, I still have that peachy undertone from being mixed, and finding a foundation that looks good without a very harsh undertone is very difficult. So yeah, moving on. These are going to be my last two. This is the Neutrogena Hydra Boost Hydrating Tint. It has hyaluronic acid in it, and it really does moisturize the skin. And it says 24 hours. It is great. I am in the shade Natural Beige 60. This was right before I switched to this one. And because it just was a little too dark, because again, that really harsh undertone made it that way. But I really do love this, this foundation. I only wish that it had sunscreen and that it had a wider range of color, or I would buy this honestly in multiple shades for the summer, like my 2 main shades for the summer, and I'd be happy as a clown. So final color is my NYX Total Control Drop Foundation. I am in the tone Medium Olive. This is my current and lightest shade. It literally matches me so well. Like, I'm starting to blend it in, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, the way this matches my skin. Amazing. They've updated the formula. I know when it first came out, people were really iffy about this foundation, but I was a constant buyer of it from the start. If you haven't tried it out, try it out. In the portion of my skin where I use this in the video, I'm going to show you how I best apply it and how I think it best works. So now that you've seen all the foundations, we're going to move on to putting them on, and we're going to have fun. So I'm going to be using these triangle wedges because I have a brand new beauty blender. It's already been dampened. These were dampened a little bit with like setting spray, but it really doesn't change their size. It just makes it better for applying the foundation. But this is brand new. It's barely touched, barely used. And I also don't want the foundations to mix when I'm putting it on my face. So I'm only going to be using like each side of these and trying to make them stretch. So that way I get the most, I guess, like separated look on my face. I have a primer. I'm going to go ahead and apply that to my face. It came with this mattifying face primer. It's okay. It's super silicone-y, but I don't want to do this without applying primer to my face because that is just a horrible thing I should not do. and we're gonna give it a fair shot. And it's alright to use. I kind of just use it on like my days where like I just need to save up on primer because, you know, broke college student. No matter what primer I'm using, I always put a couple spritz of a Mario Badescu facial spray on. I recently tried the lavender one with chamomile and I love it because as much as I am really good with my skincare, sometimes my face just, it acts up. And so to calm my face and especially calm the discoloration, I've been using this. I have a rose toner that I always do first time in the morning and first time at night, which has very similar properties to the rose spray version of this. So I thought I'd try this and it's amazing. I do it right before I put on my moisturizer every night and it really gets into my skin and it's really helped calm down the redness and the discoloration and my skin from like freaking out about anything that my face can freak out about, which is a very long list that we're not going to get into. And also I'm going to be using this as my setting spray just because I am going to go for a kind of natural look. I'm not really going to put powder or anything on, and I'm going to end up taking this off, obviously. Like, I'm not going to go out in the day. I'm going to get a little up close and personal here because this is my mirror and this is my phone. So bear with, we're doing the phone screen thing again. I do have a mirror nearby if I desperately need it, but I'm going to do my best not to use it. So I'm going to take the primer and we're gonna put it on my face. Alright, so we're gonna start with this. I'm gonna be shook at this, guys, honestly, because, oh my god, this is so dark. I am so currently not, but this is also just gonna be, you know, this is gonna be fun. I'm gonna do kind of like a square like that. Oh my gosh, yeah, you could see, whew, definitely more of a medium shade in the summer. Okay, and then we're gonna take the foam wedge and we're gonna put that in. Oh my god, I'm definitely gonna have to take a picture after. This is currently hilarious. As you see, it's kind of a medium coverage. And it is a demi-matte, so it has that slight satin shine, but honestly, I love it. And it's the look that I kind of go for in the summer. During the summer, I'm more willing to have like that satiny shade. During the summer, I'm more likely to want that like satin hydrated natural look than during the winter. I like very, like, you know, matte, poreless, and also depending on what kind of a, like, I guess skin texture I'm going for that day depends on the mood. You know, wow, that's definitely not my shade currently. This is so funny. Okay, now we're gonna move on to my next darkest one, which is the Demi Matte Foundation. You can even see here, it's like very mousse-like. And again, I don't know how they see this as a, you know, lightweight, because it definitely is very thick and it definitely is very creamy. But, you know, it's fine. And honestly, this will probably only last me a couple days, so I'll have to get more eventually. Don't apply well with like sponges because I feel like, yeah, this is taking it off. This one, honestly, I know it's gonna sound crazy, it applies best with fingers or like a kabuki brush than it does a blender. Alright, going from there. One day I may be able to use something besides the natural lighting of my windows and you'll be able to see this better. This is gonna look so weird. God. Ah. Alright, we're moving on to the Fenty. Thank God. Make sure. So this is the 190. I need the 200 because that's a little bit, like a tiny bit darker. Always shake before because it says so, and if Rihanna says so, we do so. you can already see how much lighter this is. And also, I don't know what very light fragrance she uses with this, but I love it and it's fantastic. It's very light and it's just so nice. So I'm gonna make a like line there so that way I have a place for. And honestly, if the Fenty foundation's blended on my nose, you'll kind of see how they're not really that different. I'm back. Sorry, I decided to move in a little closer and adjust the lighting so it wouldn't be so shiny. My goodness, this is so when I actually take a picture later, I think y'all are gonna like laugh at actually these two shades. They are very close. I just really don't think you can like tell by the current lighting and by this, because when I look in with like the mirror, oh my goodness. All right, so we're gonna move on down. It's like an ombre effect on my face. It's special. Gonna move on now to the hydrating. I like this little wand that it comes with. So I can be like, bam, bam, and then, yeah. And also I must say that this one does oxidize. So make sure you try it in store because it goes on pretty light, but then it does dry and oxidize. Holy cow. Oh my goodness, the difference on my face. I may even take this when I'm done into the bathroom just so you guys can kind of see more of how intense this is. Okay, so my final one, the NYX, I'm going to apply this how I normally apply it, which is very different than I think how other people apply it. Where's my, there it is. Got my beauty blender. What I like to do is I like to take just a drop, like 1 or 2 drops on my hand. I go in with a stipple brush. And I kind of put it everywhere and I like lightly blend it in. And then what's remaining on my hand from the stipple brush, I'll actually blend it into my neck and ears so people can see how well this color truly matches me. I take the beauty blender, I soak it up, and then you blend. And the dampened beauty blender will soak up the remaining extra product, but the stipple brush, when you apply it that way, really gets you that airbrushed effect, and it looks so nice. Okay, we're looking super special, like super special. Like I said, really ombre, like OMG. Yeah, no, I'm gonna take you guys on a trip. Hold on. Again, hope you appreciate my backdrop. You could definitely see the like where these lines are like happening. And then we're gonna use some setting spray. And yeah, one thing really quickly before you go is that I swatched these all in my arm, and I'm gonna do that again for you guys to see the difference. Okay guys, so here are all the shades swatched on my arm. At the very top is the NYX, next is the Demi Matte. After the Demi Matte is actually the Neutrogena Hydrating Foundation, and then we have color 200 and then color 190. And the very last one that's still kind of drying is the NYX Total Control. And here you can just see how my range on my skin tone changes throughout the summer and why I kind of need to like blend them all together. Thanks for being along with like this super really weird like idea. It's really crazy to see the different shades all on my face at the same time. But yeah, so just know that no matter what, that you should accept and appreciate your beauty and your skin tone, and that is okay. So yeah, I will see you next time, and hope you guys have a good day.